You're listening to the PAC Club podcast. Be sure to give us a like and follow, and hope you enjoy the episode. We the PAC, this our part, I bet you like that. We them boys putting rugby back on the map. All the scrams gotta go, Rucker rivals let them know. Thank you, Tony, and good afternoon, ladies and Tonys. You're listening to the PAC Podcast, powered by the PAC Athletic Club. If this is your first time joining us, we are a touring rugby club, a reformed MEMEdia platform for the players. We're the voice of the people, and we're simply here to make rugby great again, one meme at a time. This episode is proudly brought to you by Skyscanner. Next time you're looking to book flights, accommodation, or car rental, hit the link in the description or the link in our Instagram bio and follow the Skyscanner link to get the best competitive prices. Speaking of competitive on the scales, we have some big bobbers here, undefeated front row here. Dave there from Sydney and Tino Masaze from Brisbane. Welcome, boys. Welcome.
We're back. We're not cancelled.
Yeah, definitely back. We'll have a Mono got the hook, mate. He's gone to the bomb squad. He'll sit on the bench for the rest of his life.
Alone this week. We're getting the hook. There's someone
I know Dave looks like a tight head, but he's actually a hooker. So, mate, what a deadly front row would have been. Tino with his Tino used to get off subject here, but Tino he was a deadly tight head. Used to get in trouble by our scrum coach for rocking up to training in molded boots. But then Tino would have the last say because he always BCF'd and he had no effect, mate. He'd always BCF'd whoever was the loose head. So, welcome.
Not that I'm trying to show your age, Tino, here, because I haven't seen you play, right? If you were to pick a current front row now that's currently running around, who would you say is closest to your? And we're talking pro here. Who would you say is closest to Tino in his peak?
Oh, I don't know if there is one. Because I wasn't that great.
That's your answer.
I wasn't that great. Like, I'll do like one hit out, and then that'll be my one hit out for the rest of the game.
The only pro that stands out to me is Nella, because Nella's the only prop that I've seen take a kick off, like a kick return, like they've kicked the ball, and Nella's at the back when he played for Brothers, and he ran the ball back. Tino did that once, and everyone could hear in the crowd, and was like, "What the hell is Tino doing back there?" He caught the ball and ran it back. So yeah, Tino, mate, and he also holds that scrum. So mate. It was good. I liked when Tino was there, so I didn't have to play tight head. They didn't look at me because I was a scrams tight head. So thank you. And back to the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Not a scrum pod. We'll start off with every pod. Our thank you Tonys and scrams of the week. Dave, kick us off. What have you been grateful for this week?
My thank you, Tony. This week I saw something which I thought was pretty good on the weekend. The Mighty Landers at the zoo on Saturday night. They also had a good win, but they put together a little, I think, commemorative game for jerseys for what's his name, Basham, that passed away last year,
Connor.
But I also did see his brother saying that he didn't want a moment's silence. He wanted the zoo to go crazy, which was something new. But he said that's exactly what he would have wanted. So I thought that was pretty cool. And also nicer for Highlanders organisation to do, and even better, top it off with a bloody great win at the zoo. So that's my thank you, Tony, for this week, and Highlanders.
Nice, thank you, Tony. That was probably one of the games of the round. There was a few games of the rounds this week. Tino, what are you grateful for this last week?
I've never seen this person actually in real life. I've always seen him growing up, and it was pretty amazing to see Tano Umanga on the sidelines there. I've never seen him in actual real person. Never got to shake his hand. I just let him be, but it was pretty much an unreal experience to see one of your favorite players growing up in real life, and just the aura about him was amazing to see. Like I was it was kind of like I was fangirling a little bit, but I had to keep my composure. And while I was wearing the bib on the sidelines there at the Moana Reds game, one of the Reds guys came up to me and said, "Hey, mate, I might have to sew you a bigger one," because it just looked like I was wearing a crop top, which is fair enough. But my thank you, Tony, goes to seeing a childhood hero there of mine, Tano Umanga.
Yeah,
I
Bit of context. Tino went to the game, to the Reds game, because we get, we're best friends with the Reds, so we get the media passes. Tino had the media bib on, and Johnny sent in, I believe Marty was at the game and showed us a video, and Tino was wearing that red bib. It looked like the NFL crop tops during preseason. But yeah, it's good that you got to see your hero, Tana Umanga. I believe you took your son there for his first rugby game, Reds rugby game. I did. And I'm just imagining, little Spence, little Quagga just going, "Hey, Mum, why is Dad's knees shaking?" And looking at that man with the dreadlocks. But yeah, it's good. Mate, another cracking round of Super Rugby. I thought round 2 was good, but round 1 was good, but round 2 also lived up to it. But my thank you, Tony, and he'll be on later in this pod, interviewing Tausinga Kautai, a Tongan DUTCHIE. He went over before I went over to play season there. My first run-in with him, we had a bit of a push and shove because I thought it was someone. Then I found out he's Tongan after the game. But Tausinga Kautai, thank you, Tony. Thanks for giving up your time. And we'll be calling around to other players around the world or locally, just sharing their story or even just a little catch up. So if you want to, if you're overseas and you're a bit bored and you want to jump on the blower, and we'll get on to you. So send us a DM or just let us know in the comments. So thank you, Tausinga Kautai.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We can probably put it out there to the 3 people that listen to the podcast. And see who they want us to try and contact get on the pod. Yeah?
Yeah, and if you say Tanina Tupo, mate, you're gone, mate. We've been trying. Dave's been trying for the last 3 weeks. So, let us know who you want us to call around to. I believe I told Dave, let's try and get your best friend in the whole wide world. Let's see if you're actual best friends for next week. Hopefully we'll get Falau for next week. So, yeah, and that's not Israel too. So everyone chill. Okay, now, Scrams of the week. Dave, who was your scramble for the week?
For the week is my driver. Went out for a quick 9-hole on Saturday afternoon. And for some reason, my driver couldn't go further than the women's team in front of me. So,
whoa. What are you part of Destiny Church or something, mate? Can you chill? Wow, right, man.
Hey, stay out the library, my man.
Yeah, man.
That's my other scratch. My drive on the weekend just couldn't work. Couldn't get off the tee, mate.
Wow, once again, blaming your weapon, not the person pressing the button.
Use the weapon.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for your scram. Tino, who's your scrams for the week, or what?
I don't think I have a scram, but due to last week's pronunciation of my 1,000 ways to cut I googled it, I searched for it. The scram goes to me. I think it was a Bruce Lee movie that I was watching, but I want to apologize to all the followers out there, to all the listeners that had to hear that bullshit.
No.
I got some serious death threats from my family. So, I'm going to change my last name.
Hold on. So did you Google find anything or what the saying was meant to be?
Nah, it didn't find nothing.
Yeah, I Googled as well. I'm like, I just want to see what the rest of the quote was that Tino was talking about. And then I typed it in Google and then he had no idea. There was no... Yeah,
there was nothing. Yeah. But anyway, I will talk to you guys after the pod while we're not recording, so don't put myself out there like that again. Don't scratch myself again. But look, it did give attention to those who do not understand investment and stuff like that. Look, go talk to someone who does. I don't have any qualifications.
APW group, yeah.
Yeah, but my cousin's uncle's dog's cousin, he told me that, look, it's an option that is available for everyone. There's beginner, intermediate, expert, but I'm just putting it out there. I am not an expert in this field. I'm still learning myself, but that's what my uncle's neighbor's dog told me to say. So that is my advice.
But let's not finish it there. If someone wants to finish off Tino's little quote, maybe we're onto something here. How did it start off? If you cut something 1,000 pieces, then ... Let us know what you think the rest is, or what you think
What
Tina
the rest
was.
could be. It could be anything.
Yeah. But you're not allowed to say but. If we see the word but will come up in the feed and the messages, but it's got to be serious. You got to be genuine. It's got to be creative.
It's got to make sense. Yeah.
You've got to be unique. Yeah, because it is a unique saying.
Yeah.
Even I don't know what it is.
Yeah, make sure it's a unique, very unique. Speaking of unique, SCRAMS, I had myself as a SCRAMS. Everyone thinks I'm a cool calm collection here in the dungeon, but SCRAMS on the weekend, our fantasy chat, Tony went full-blooded, and somebody got fired from PAC.
I just want to ask, are you okay?
I'm all good, mate.
Welfare check.
Yeah,
just not a ruffle check. Mental health, better blokes.
True.
It's blowing up on TikTok. So
Yeah. No, thank you for checking, boys. But yeah, I was a SCRAMS. I've been cool calm collection, but yeah, sometimes you push the button too much times, and the button push back. To be fair, Tino, I was so concerned. I actually flew up to Brisbane to see and make sure he was all right. Took him out to Korea. His SCRAMS, he told me to order this banquet or whatever it was, and I'm not even going to be fooled. Didn't know how to use the bloody thing. Yeah, mate. Mate.
One of the stories, I flew up there, welfare check. He's all right.
Yeah,
so
he's
cooking. At least at least you've got like a support network around you. You fly from Sydney, Melbourne.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you, mate. You come here and you take all the hats away from, so it's good. But yeah, reminder, we do have hats. We will be releasing this week, so keep an eye out. We will be dropping the restock of the golf hats, restock of the PAC black and gold surf caps, and then a sneaky new release of something. You'll see soon, mate. You'll see soon. So yeah, just make sure you get behind it, support it, and it's going to go to help get Tino to Hong Kong with us. So which shifts us into our Hong Kong update, proudly brought to you by APW Group, the experts in expat investments. They are our platinum sponsors this year for the PAC Barbers, our touring rugby team. Starting off, we just want to catch up. How you guys been? I know.
Last week, nothing too exciting. Back at work. Actually, got something really exciting that instead of scramming ourselves, and thank you, Tony. It's my 6th weekend off the piss. So tick that off on the weekend. The sobriety chat, and then went up to Brisbane for work on Thursday. Saw Siona and did a welfare check on him, took him out for dinner. We checked out a nice little new Korean place down the road from him, which was nice. What else?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
6 weeks off the piss. We all remember your first episode of the year where you were in rehab, and you're not doing rehab in rehab. How's the weekends look for you? How's it feel in the mornings on Sunday mornings?
Mate, unreal.
Yeah.
I think this is actually serious chat. I think I didn't realize you see it the most during the week at work. The Sundays are given, but during the week, I've gone from trying to cramp in 5 days worth of work into 3 days because you spend 2 days recovering, to actually having 5 days to do 5 days worth of work, which is, you feel amazing. You sleep better, you eat better, and you're just sharper. So I'm feeling great.
Oh, nice. I wish I could say that you look better, but thank you for the information, Dave. But mate, it's good to see you. I've seen you doing some helping the next generator. You've been doing a bit of coaching for the hookers.
Oh yeah, shout out to the Randwick Academy. It's actually a pretty good program because all the it's a free program for about 500 kids around the area. And it's been put on by a couple of ex-Randwick coaches, and all the coaches are all volunteers, parents, or the Randwick Mafia. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to compete with. So we've got NRL, South Sydney, and the Roosters in the area who all pay the kids, or well, not pay the kids, but they have all these programs that are funded through either NRL community programs or whatnot that are taking all those kids. And then this program is actually a self-funded, crowd-funded program to get all these kids, train them over summer. It runs all throughout summer and then get them ready for when they go into footy in their season. And all the coaches are volunteers and just ex-rugby players that can go down and help. Luckily, I volunteered my time because I told everyone that I've changed the rules of line-out throwing. They've seen my throws also so long and been so painful that not going straight. So I actually went down and volunteered, teach kids how to throw line-outs. But I said it doesn't have to be straight. If you throw it quick enough, there's no contest. So there you go. So tips for the kids. But yeah, it's been helping out at the Randwick Academy doing some hooker coaching and scrum coaching. Yeah,
that's a good message. 2025, it doesn't have to be straight. Maria, Dave. Yeah. And Tino, what have you been up to, mate? I believe you went to the Reds game.
Yeah, went to the Reds game. It's a great atmosphere. Took my son out there. Unfortunately, he got scared of the pyros, the fireworks and stuff that were there. Like as soon as they went up, he just turned to his mum and just hugged his mum the whole night. But no, it was a great atmosphere. Minor played awesome. The Reds, were firing back. Like I'm always a Red, so no, it was good to see the Polynesian community come out for the minor game. It was good to see that there is people out there that do support the smaller guys, but overall, couldn't stop laughing at Jable on the.
Oh, he's on the announcer.
Yeah, the announcer. Yeah, no, it was good because he amped up the crowd and he was backing the boys. But no, it's good to see and good to hear as well.
Yeah, I remember when I first went and realised Jable and hear his voice. I'm like, is that Jable over the ground announcer? Because we all know Jable, and then it's seeing him, and then seeing him trying to not swear and do all that stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing, because I was like, okay, where's the fucking comment?
But yeah, shout out to Jable, mate, doing well, doing great work there at the Reds home games.
I've got a question for Tino. For context for our listeners, is obviously Tino's married to a beautiful South African. I'm wondering if you've had the conversation with the little one, if you ever had to pick between the Springboks or the Wallabies, or Mansard, why even?
Well, funny enough you say that. Funny enough, because he started, I think it's Start 5 Rugby here at the Pumas in Pine Rivers. So he started that, and the missus booked him up because obviously my nephew started going there. So I was away at work. And then I was like, oh, my son needs some boots. I went to Rebel, picked up some boots. And I was like, oh, what a better way to start training than put him in a Wallabies jersey. So that is full stop. He is going to be a Wallaby.
There's no conversation. Oh, wow.
But to be fair, when he came home, showed his mum, he was so proud wearing his Wallabies jersey. Well, his mum's like, ooh, yuck. He felt so embarrassed. I said, you bitch.
Hey, mate, that's been to be continued where Spencer ends up. He could even be New Zealand, mate, because his dad's got the New Zealand passport. So hopefully we'll keep that one on a down low. Hopefully they don't try and steal him. But mate, he's going to be a big. Could be number 8.
Look, if I had it my way, and financially was good for us and that, I'll send it to South Africa to play footy or board it at a rugby school over there. Just maybe for a year, year 10 or maybe year 11, just for a year. His mum can go over there with him. I can stay here and have a break. But no, look, I don't know if you've seen what happens over South Africa. They're so passionate about their rugby over there. So look, it is something outside the box. But if I had it my way, that's probably what I'll do, just to get him around his culture more as well. Yeah. I tend to forget, because of his skin color, he's definitely, dark caramel. So sometimes I do forget that he's half South African.
It's half Afrikaans, mate.
Afrikaans. But yeah, it's Hong Kong update. We're heading to Hong Kong last week of March. Some teams have been announced. Samoa, including Samoa, are part of the 10s now. They got kicked out, or they lost their place in the HSBC10s World Series. Now they're trying to get back in, and now they've got the 10s team. I don't know if it's going to be the Samoa A team, like 15s players, or it's going to be their 7s players just playing in this team. So I think they're going to be a smoky for one of our decent oppositions. We'll be naming our team. I think we're going to drop at least one player this coming week, if coach lets us.
As in, are you dropping him off the team or dropping?
Dropping a name, because coach is very tough to try and get some names.
We need to get some media pressure on the coach at the moment.
I think we'll try and get the coach on next week. So yeah, hopefully, coach, if you're listening, mate, check your Wi-Fi. We're going to be calling, mate. So yeah,
check your Wi-Fi and check your sponsors, mate. Yeah,
check your sponsors, and we have got a new player jersey sponsor. We announced the 3 that were from the golf. They've come on board as a individual player jersey sponsor. And then we've got another one, Christian Yasmin, the Lebanese Lamborghini. Man, he's come on board as a sponsor. I don't know if he just wants a Lebanese Lamborghini logo on the back of the jersey, or he wants his face on the back of the jersey.
So he's actually his sponsorship is called the Guard Up mouth guards.
Guard Up. So he's actually doing pretty well. He's lined up. He's got a contract with the Broncos, so he's done all their mouth guards. GWS he's got, which is pretty good. So yeah, all the pros are starting to get on his little 3D printing mouth guard, which is probably the newest mouth guard technology. So he's jumped on. Yeah.
And he might be coincident that the coach picks him to run out in his own sponsorship.
Yeah, big things coming, mate. Because
did you guys wear mouth guards? Did you guys ever wear mouth guards?
Oh,
I never did.
No,
sometimes. Most of the time, my mouth guard was in my sock.
You know how you put in hot water, put it in your mouth, and then you're like, how the fuck are you supposed to breathe and hold it in? Like, I never knew you had to suck the mouth guard up, and mold it around. I just thought you put a hot water and you just bite on it the whole game. But this is an 8-year-old me, 10-year-old me. Yeah. So I was like, so I never wore mouth guard ever again.
Yeah, thank you.
It's hard enough to breathe without a mouth guard, let alone put one in.
Yeah, thank you. But make sure player safety. Make sure you get yourself a Guard Up mouth guard. They're actually real fitted for your teeth, so you can breathe. So yeah, make sure you get yourself a pair of Guard Up mouth guard. We'll put the link in the bio, just like everything else. So make sure.
Bit of a tongue twister, that one, eh?
Guard Up.
Yeah. Sorry, my hearing. I don't know if my hearing or pronunciation.
But yeah. Make sure you get your tickets. I believe the tickets for Hong Kong will be out soon. The tickets to the games, so or catch the live stream on the Hong Kong 10s YouTube channel. But we've got a call in with Tausinga Kautai, brother of Kautai from the Highlanders, and that is brought to you by Cheeky Biltong. Firstly, is there a reason why you're dressed like John Olomu back in the 90s?
They used to call me that when I was here.
Oh, did you tell them?
When I first moved here, they thought I was John Olomu. Their words, Their words.
Yeah. Oh, must be nice, mate. I got Charlie Famuina, but yeah, still same thing, mate. Similar.
Bro, I was there when you were here, but no one called you Charlie Famuina.
All right. Oh, quick little intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the PAC Podcast. As promised, we're going to call around to rugby players from around the world, get to know some of their stories, and get it on film for the future generators to look back, and also to help the youngins if they're thinking about going overseas to have a bit of a season overseas. Hey, you might find yourself there forever. And joining me is a youngin with Castricum by way of New Zealand and Tonga. Tausinga Kautai, welcome, Tux, welcome.
Malo, Dogo, malo.
Now, a quick little backstory. When I met this guy, I played a season over in the Netherlands in the Air class, and played this guy. First, I thought you were Samoan, because you were on the other on the wing on the other side. You guys had a few foreigners, where my team, just battlers from Sassenheim. We were just battlers, and we only had 3 of us. And I think during the game, you had a bit of a push and shove with one of my local DUTCHIEs, and I thought I'd come over and help. And you pushed back, and I was like, oh shit, you might find out that I'm a SCRAMS. Do you remember that game, our first meeting?
Yeah, I remember that game, bro. I remember there was a video that you posted as well, just when I tackled you and you cut it off.
oh yeah, when I flinged that little halfback.
Yeah, that one.
Oh man!
Did I tackle this guy? You cut me off.
But Tausinga is based in, for the listeners, Tausinga is based in Netherlands, just outside of Amsterdam. But I want to get into his little story and how he ended up in the Netherlands, out of all places. Starting off, we'll go back when you were little children. Where are you from? And so start from there.
I'm originally from Auckland. Born and raised there. Family of 8, out east, represent, and went to Sacred Heart College. That's where I found rugby, and played most of my rugby.
Yeah, and family dynamics. How many brothers and sisters you got?
I got 3 other brothers and 4 sisters.
Oh,
big family.
Big family. And where are you? Are you the eldest or in the middle?
I'm the best looking and and bang on in the middle.
We'll have to fact check that one, but we'll go with it for now. We'll go with it for now. Probably got a few Tongan Kiwis listening. You said you're in Auckland. Did you grow up in the church?
Yeah, I grew up in the church, as all Tongan families do, or most Tongan families do. Stayed pretty religious throughout living in Auckland. Yeah. And then moved to Christchurch on a rugby scholarship that obviously failed. But then slowly but surely, not grew out of it, just did a whole lot less. Yeah. I found that outside of home, more and more people I met were either atheists or just not religious, or grew out of it. Yeah. And as that saying, product of your surrounding, I kind of fell into that, I guess, trap. But as I got older and then I had my children, I've found my way back. Yeah. And life's been good since, man. Yeah, life's been good since I found God again. Yeah.
What church did you grow up in? What denomination were you?
The Catholic Church.
Oh yeah.
There's a church down the road from me. Shout out to St. Pius and the boys out east. There's a little church down the road that the whole community went to. There was a field next to that, and everybody. That's where we all met and played touch, played rugby. Kind of like those videos that you see of the island, when they're out in the paddock, whether it be raining or sunny or whatever. You see those videos in Fiji or Tonga or Samoa. It was the same, just out down the road from my house. Yeah. Or everybody in the area, whether it be Samoan, Tongan, Fijian, everybody. A lot of rugby talent came out of there too. Obviously, one of them. But that's where it all started, really. Yeah.
Yeah, and what type of kid were you? Were you like talang or full? Were you a bit well behaved, or were you one of those?
Oh yeah, bro, well behaved, man. Well behaved, I'm trying to beat that lie. Can't talk my way around that one. Yeah. No, I try to be the best that I could. My parents, shout out to my parents. They did the best that they could with 8 children. And they brought us up, in the Tongan way. Yeah. But then had to get to the understanding that they are in New Zealand. So a lot of that, like I said, the product of your surrounding, the influences of outside of the house, they had to kind of allow, you know, because then there's a lot of that confrontation that you have with a lot of kids that were born in New Zealand and with their Tongan parents. You know, they go to I guess you could call them Palangi school, and they get taught these, I guess, principles or beliefs that belong outside of your home. So you bring that back to your house and you start talking back to your parents like the Palangi boys did. But yeah, no, I grew up religious, bro. Had a long period of where I was, you know, kind of out of that. I think most of that was when I moved to the Netherlands. There's a lot of atheists I met here.
Yeah.
And that's when the dark child was born.
We'll get to that. But back. Some of the people listening don't know Sacred Heart. That's a well-known rugby school in New Zealand. How did you get to there? Or was it your parents just wanted you to go to Sacred Heart?
It was down the road.
Yep.
There was the option to go to Tamaki and Glendowie. They're also close to Sacred Heart. I guess my parents just wanted, I don't want to talk badly about Tamaki and Glendowie, but they wanted what they believed was better. Yeah. And like you said, it's well known, Sacred Heart. So the better option was to go there and take all my brothers there. And yeah, the foundation of, you know, becoming a young man, it started at Sacred Heart. So yeah, shout out to Sacred Heart, man.
And how did you go with rugby? Did you go hundies in it? Or were you one of the stars at the school? Don't have to be humble, man.
You know, I was never. I'll be straight, man. I was never like talented, you know, IQ wise, you know. But I knew I was fast. Don't let this fool you. Don't let this fool you. But I was real fast. I was real fit, and I was strong. Yeah. But in terms of, like, you know, what I offered on the field at that time, I don't know. I wasn't what I, especially in today's rugby with first 15. You know, these guys are killers, man. You know, the IQ of rugby starts at 15, 16. You know, and I was still kind of growing into the game. I got into the first 15 quite early. Yeah. I think it was in my second year, but not in the team. I was just kind of training and being in the squad. Yeah. Maybe it might have been my third year, actually. Year 9, year 10, year 11. Year 11, I got called into the first team. Not to play or anything. Just train around the boys. I think I sat on the bench against Tamaki, maybe. I'm so old, bro. It's a long time ago. I don't even remember what happened. But that's when I got a taste of you know, what it's like to be around the physical side of rugby. Because we had every lunchtime we'll play rugby. You know, that's what the boys will do. And the first 15 coach was he'll be watching, I guess. And I remember there was this big fella, John Tevanga. Shout out to John Tevanga. He was carrying the ball once, and I think it was my first or second year. And when you're that age, like 3 years is a big gap, you know. And when you get into your 20s, it means nothing. But 3 years in that age was a big gap, and he was carrying the ball, and I was obviously doing it, and I just went to try and smoke him. Oh, second best. But he was a big lad. He was of Bintamifuna, like that was his as a kid. That's how big he was to me, and I was the skinny, scrawny little kid. But you know, when you're born out in the east, that's what you're made of. But no, I took a crack at him, bro, and I swear to God, man, I still remember to this day. I went after one leg, and his leg was the size of me, but my whole back, I heard my whole back, like, and I was the guy like, oh, idiot.
I think you're
but I remember clear as day, the boys came around and like, gee, like, fuck, that was hard. Oh, sorry, am I allowed to swear? Yeah, all good. Yeah. They're like, oh, that was hard, but what? It was all the young fellas, you know, they were not scared, but just kind of shy. Yeah. And I took my chance. But then as you grow with rugby, lunchtime rugby, the senior boys will kind of tell you off if they recognize that you're being scared or you didn't make that tackle, and then you build this kind of this armor, this mental armor, because you kind of look up to them.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the senior boys at that time as well.
And when you were a little kid, were there other sports? Was it just rugby? Were you playing?
Yeah, bro. Rugby, touch, did a bit of athletics, or tried to anyway. Because like I said, I was pretty naturally fast. Did no training for it as well. But I don't know. I was pretty quick. One year I went to the athletics, and I remember being there. I think I made it into the finals of the heats before the. It was like I think it was just Auckland schools. And I remember standing there and I was the only guy in bare feet. Everyone else had their spikes, shoes on. And I came last.
But what was the dream when you were a little kid? Was it always to be a rugby player, or was it, to join the choir at Rainbow Zine or something like that?
Now the dream was to be awesome bartender. Nah, bro, it was, man. I grew up around rugby. Everyone played it. If it wasn't rugby, it was touch.
Yeah.
I don't know if the dream was to be an All Black or play pro or anything, but I knew at that time all I wanted to do was play rugby. I didn't have dreams to be a doctor, none of that. I saw nothing past what was already in front of me. Yeah. That's just how I lived my life. And I still do it like that, Probably a little bit differently, but I wasn't thinking past tomorrow or next week, Everybody kept asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like,
alive?
I don't know, bro. A superhero? Can I be a superhero?
But you mentioned you moved down to Canterbury. What was that? What was that opportunity?
I was fortunate enough to get selected for this, it was a rugby scholarship.
Yeah.
Myself and there were two other guys I knew that one was above me, one was my year. Molimea Fonua, he went down the year above me, and that's how I got into that's how I was introduced to that scholarship. And then I had a guy my year who ended up repeating, Jordan Taufua, shout out to Jordan Taufua, Molimea. But Jordan Taufua repeated school, so he didn't come down the year that I went. He came down the year after.
Yeah.
But that scholarship got me over to Lincoln University, where I then played a lot of my early senior rugby.
Yeah.
I think there was part of the Canterbury academies as well. I guess if you were known to be on that scholarship, I guess the scouts would keep a closer eye.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of those things I wish I had hung on to or done better with. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how Geordie ended up down in Crusaders, down south.
Yeah, bro. There were a bunch of guys that went through that scholarship. I think I was the only one that didn't make it.
Hey, you played.
I made it a catch, bro.
Yeah. But we'll get to that. How did you end up in the Netherlands of all places playing?
Well, obviously going down to Canterbury on that scholarship, I played a couple years in Christchurch. I think it was Canterbury 18s, Canterbury 19s, and then the year I turned 20 was the year I decided. Oh, not decided. It was kind of just thrown at me from one of the bros, Josh Fisiiahi. He was over in Germany at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And they were looking for backs, and he gave me a shout, and I didn't think. Obviously, I was still at uni at the time, but I didn't think twice, man. I was like, "Oh, yo, I'm going."
Yeah.
I had no money in my bank, no clothes. I don't think I had boots, bro. I think I went over with my lucky game underwear, probably another pair of underwear.
Yeah.
And all my rugby kit in a small rugby bag, and that's how I went over
to Germany.
To Germany, bro. That's where. Yeah, it was like a semi-pro.
Yeah.
Started kind of for me. at an early age. I think at the time, Germany was looking pretty sharp in their Bundesliga.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of
What club did you go there? Because I know I also had a look at that before I came to the Netherlands. What club were you?
No one asked. No, I was at Pforzheim.
Okay.
TVP Pforzheim. It's a small town, bro. There's a few Germans that I've met along the way since I've been around Europe, but even they'd never heard of Pforzheim. They didn't even heard of rugby, but
yeah,
the Pforzheim was such a small town, a bit like Castricum.
Yeah.
Very small town. We had a few pretty good players there too. A lot of them went through the academies and other places, and then there was me. But I think they were desperate for back three, mostly like a winger. And I went there 20 years old, bro, fresh out of home, man.
But wait,
with money in my pocket finally.
you hear all these like NRL players and rugby players come over to Aussie and they get homesick. You're on the other side of the world. Were you homesick?
That first year, well, I was already spending a lot of time in Christchurch.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
and I think a lot of that homesick kind of. I was a bit of a lone ranger, bro. I was a hard lone ranger. So even when I went to Germany, you had that. I wouldn't call it homesick, but it's that discomfort of being in a new, completely different world. I'll call it a different world because for me it was a different world. So many Balangis, bro.
I know the feeling.
Bro. I thought Christchurch was bad, and then you go to Germany, bro.
Yeah,
and they're like
different language,
all over the place, bro.
How
so many Balangis.
Barry, or did everyone speak English over there?
Nah, Germany wasn't as good as the Netherlands. The Netherlands, everybody speaks English here,
Yeah.
But then Germany, you struggled. I struggled to make friends, but I had the team anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But especially in a small town like that, I think all the English speakers will be in bigger towns like Frankfurt and Stuttgart and Berlin. There'll be a lot of English-speaking Germans there. But in my town, man, there was nobody. Even on the TV, bro, everything was in German.
Yeah.
At least in the Netherlands, you can still watch it in English for like subtitles.
Yeah.
Bro, they had voiceovers in German, bro, and it ruins the scene. Like if it's a comedy, it ruins the scene because nothing sounds good in German.
No.
It's a yuck language. It's a yuck language. So when you hear like a comedy, what was it? The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
It was playing a lot on the channels, and they had it in German. Oh, terrible, bro. Fucking terrible.
How long did you spend in Germany? Just a season, or?
I had a pretty bad injury there, so it was like half a season, and then they sent me home because I was still obviously getting paid, and I just ran amok. wasn't even playing, and because I wasn't playing, I think I was pissed from Wednesday. Okay, this is how my week went. It was Wednesday was karaoke night, Thursday was student night, Friday's Friday, Saturday we get on it with the team, and potentially a Sunday session. That's how my week went. 20 years old, fresh out of home, money in my pocket. Finally, money in my pocket. And you know how it is when you grow up in a Tongan family who just moved over to New Zealand from Tonga or Samoa.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just speak for myself. You don't get. I didn't get taught about money, how to save, how to put it aside, all that kind of. I didn't even have money. You ask dad for money. And
Yeah.
I can get bought the fuck out and then you can come ask me for some money. But yeah, no, I was there, money in my pocket, bro. It was either out. I did a lot of drinking in those years, and so I did I'm gonna admit it. I did a lot of bad stuff. They gave the team the bad name.
Yeah.
Because of the things I did off the field. I'm not ashamed of it now, but I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
But then because of that, they sent me home. But I had a real. I was injured. I tore my my pec, and I didn't think I had health insurance. I didn't think they had it covered yet, which is surprising. You're playing rugby, you'd think that health insurance would be one of the top things I'll have. I on the contract. But I was young and dumb, 20 years old, and didn't really think anything of it. I thought, oh yeah, they'll look after me, but that wasn't the case. They kind of kept me hush. Well, what I thought at that time kept me hush hush with my retainer, and as long as I was getting money for me, I was all good. But I sat with a torn pec, and then they just sent me home with a torn pec, no surgery, nothing. So that was my first experience with semi-pro contract. I just went back to Christchurch and tried to get back on get myself right playing in Christchurch again. I think I went back and played for a club called Maris Albion. Yeah. Shout out to Maris Albion.
and then what made you decide to actually have another crack to go, and then this time to the Netherlands?
There was a team in Amersfoort that was asking around for players. Oh, Mitch McGann. Shout out to Mitch McGann. He was looking for wing centre. Yeah. And he knew the guy that got me the gig over in Germany, Josh Fisiiahi. So they asked around, what is he like? I was like, what is he like? Oh, yeah, good player, terrible on the piss. and the guys there, they're like, oh, we can handle that. So I ended up coming back over here. Even though I had a pretty bad start the first time around, I came over and played over in, you remember Amersfoort? Ameland?
No. I think they came
black and yellow.
Nah, they probably came up after I left, came back up.
Oh yeah, because I think they went down for a season, but yeah, we started and they were.
So that was your first club in the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands, yeah, bro.
Oh,
why I decided to come, it was the same as when I went to Germany, bro. I was like, man, I got nothing going on here.
Yeah.
I tried to reapply over at Lincoln, and they're like, nah, bro. We don't take your card anymore.
And how did you end up at CAS if you started off at Ameland?
Oh yeah, so after Ameland, I was back in New Zealand, and I'd met a girl, and after my gig in Ameland, I went back to New Zealand, and we kind of stayed in touch more or less. And she came to New Zealand and thought it was a good idea to get pregnant.
Oh, okay. Oh,
story of my life. But then she's from Cass. She's a Dutch girl from Cass.
Yeah.
But I met her in Amsterdam, and then obviously she's carrying the baby, so it was about making her feel comfortable, and she just didn't really feel that in New Zealand, because I was in Christchurch, but all my family's in New Zealand in Auckland. So that support group she didn't really have or find in Christchurch, and my plans were like, oh, let me just stay here, give it another crack, and then I'll get you guys to come back. And she's like, that's not gonna work, mate. Yeah. You and your rugby can go flush down the toilet now. It's not about you anymore. Oh, okay. So then, yeah, we ended up coming back to Cass, and I've been here since. I got I've 3 beautiful children, but yeah, I've been here since, bro. I've been I tried one more time going over to Ameland, actually.
Yeah.
Because they had a big sponsor, and COVID had just hit, and I was broke.
Yeah.
There was no work. I'm foreign. Couldn't even speak the language. So, like but I was comfortable turn back to rugby, because that's what I knew, and they were starting to make players were starting to make money here. Or they are making money here now with players. And when I first got here, you had to find work.
Yeah.
So then, I had another crack over at Ameland, but that didn't last long. COVID kind of destroyed those hopes. The universe just didn't want me to be great, ultimately,
finding
ways to bring me down.
Yeah, I get it. But there's the different sort of contracts. You spoke about the semi-pro contract. You come over and you got like your retaining, and then you're talking about other contracts where clubs like sort of look after your accommodation, like I was, and your flights and all that. But you got to find a job because the matches don't cover, just won't cut it. What was how's work or finding work when you gone over there, or you've just been lucky with contacts?
I moved here on my own, so there was no agreement with Cass Rugby. I was happy that she's from Cass, because if she was in another town where there was no rugby, I would have been bored as hell. So, and I knew some of the boys here, from when I was playing in Aimlan. But for work, especially in Cass, there's a lot of Kiwi guys that live here too. So shout out to the Kiwi boys here. But they got me jobs there. Like there's painters, so work with some of the older boys who've been here for years. They gave me a job working as a painter, and since I was young, man, I was always like the designated barber. I'll cut my brothers terribly, some of my mates, all through to Aimlan. I was always the designated barber. Whether I did a good job or not didn't really matter. The boys got cut.
Yeah,
it was like a one size fits all. To go get a fade with the this and that. Like, oh yeah, same thing. Another guy comes in, asks for this. Yep, same thing. So I kind of just turned to that and made it a career. So then I did the Barber course, finished that. I did a gig in Amsterdam, one just around the corner from my house, and for the last 5 years, got my own shop and just got some of the boys working there too, and I've just been a barber since, and part-time coach, rugby coach, just helping out giving back to the community. But that's been my work since, man. At first it was a struggle. It was a struggle, because you're having a kid, no qualifications, didn't finish uni, obviously. So I won't lie, man. It was a big struggle and a reality check, becoming a unplanned father, and then moving over to the Netherlands. And although I'd lived here in the past, I'd lived there as a single young Tongan lad from New Zealand. It's a completely different world, and I was unfamiliar with it. It was very unfamiliar grounds, and I just had to navigate like the weapon I am. Just found my way, and here I am.
But mate, I want to talk about like support system. Like I know a lot of players head over with dream to stay the whole season, but a lot of players from over here, especially Australia, they end up running away or heading back home before Christmas or during that Christmas break. What was your support system like? I found mine with friends, from making friends with some of the foreigners in other clubs, just because I think some of the local players kind of forget that the foreign players are there and they've got no one. They're pretty much the rugby club's all they have. What's helped you, and just to help some of the first time players looking to head overseas?
Just have each other, really, the foreign boys especially. But yeah, like you mentioned, like it's the cultural side of it, because especially in the rugby world, and the rugby world here, a lot of the foreigners of Pacific descent. So, and how we perceive our family or friendships and our culture was just different, and so Dutch are quite like straightforward. And in their minds, they're just like, oh yeah, get over it. You're on that side of the world. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah. But for us, when we're so used to being surrounded by a lot of people, and a lot of people that of course love you, to a bunch of strangers, it can get hard. And everyone, they even have this like, oh, you're a rugby player, big, strong. I go, shut up, man. Do you play? Do you play? Fat. Then half the cunts didn't even play talking to me like I'm a big, strong rugby player. I mean, I'm big and I'm strong. I'll give you that. But the mental aspect of it was the biggest killer. But to answer your question around the support group, yeah, it's just getting around each other. I always found myself at the rugby house. I still to this day. You know, my missus hates it.
Yeah.
He hates it because, like, even if I was at home, let's say for example, and my brothers, you know, we lived close to me, I'll just go over.
Yeah.
And she kind of hated that too when we were in New Zealand. I'll go to my brother's house. We went to visit Auckland, and he wasn't home, but I stuck around anyway. You know, just sat around with the kids. He'd come home, didn't say anything to me, and he did some, you know, his fatherly duties, and we barely said 5 words to each other, and then we left. And then she got mad. She's like, "You didn't even talk to him." Like, you didn't have to, man. We just, you know, in each other's company.
They know, yeah.
It's just different, man. Like you have to entertain each other here.
Yeah.
And that's why it's different. Like my sister, shout out to my sister Offa. She come over to visit, and was a Sunday, and I sat on one side of the couch, and she sat on the other side. And we were just on our phones, bro. And, you know, watch a bit of TV, go on our phones, and she would laugh. And I'm like, "What is it?" And instead of showing me, she would just send it to me.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. And my missus, she'll leave the house and come back. "What did you guys do today?" This is all we did. We barely even said 2 words to each other, bro. It was just being each other's company.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some friend groups or families that do that in the Netherlands, but that's not what I experienced, you know, when I first moved over here. And so you kind of just gravitate to what you know, and that was the rugby house. You could just kind of be yourself, and I enjoyed being myself. I like me.
Yeah, no, but I think
I like me.
But I think, you know, you being there, and I don't know, you know, rugby house, the new boys, first time overseas. I think you probably don't know it, or you probably do, but they probably appreciate someone like you being around, and for them to enjoy it. Because I know when we had our rugby house, we had the Kiwi boy. He went to. He like, I'll just going home for Christmas. I'll be back. The club booked his return flights. Yeah, he didn't come back on the. He didn't come back on.
I bet he was Samoan.
No, it was Pakia.
Oh, typical. Why did I say Samoan?
We'll cut that out as well, mate.
No, leave it in, bro. Leave it in.
No.
Leave it in.
But before we get into some of the other rugby questions that I had, what's your favourite thing about what's keeping you there? Is it your missus or you want to end up coming back home, or you're good there in the Netherlands?
Just wherever my kids are, man.
Yeah.
Home's always going to be home, man. I'm always going to want to go home. Whether I do go home or not is, it's up to the boss, you know. And she's just like, she's obviously Dutch, and everywhere I moved, I had no game plan. You know, that's just how I lived, and that's how I'm picturing going home as well. She's like, "Oh, we just move home, babe." And she's like, "Nah." She's like, she wants a 5-year game plan, you know, and all these plans. And of course, it makes sense because, you know, there's children involved now. But I think I'm going to be here for a while, bro. Unless something, I mean, I'm a barber by trade now, and I'm doing my level 2 and 3 coaching and around rugby. So there's big dreams there. Going back to, you know, when I spoke about when I was younger and planning ahead.
Yeah.
Coaching now, like rugby coaching especially, is probably one of the first things where I've, you know, started to plan ahead, like goal wise, and it really excites me, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But on that, with rugby in the Netherlands, I think it's come a long way especially since I was there. And that's something, look, you talking about coaching, I wanted to do the same thing because I'm on my way back for good. I also got I found a love.
How many times have I heard this, man?
But I'm on my way back. But I also want to help out, not so much the coaching side, but sort of the other side of rugby, the admin side and the front end sort of side of rugby. And is that something that you'd be keen to get into, is helping the Dutch sort of get into that? They're slowly creeping up they're very close to Tonga on the rankings, but is that something you want to do there, especially since you're there on ground?
100%, man. 100%. There's so much potential and talent around here, but because it's not a career path, it's not exactly like it's a demanding sport, bro. We both know, man. Yeah. And everybody out there that's playing rugby, we understand it's a demanding sport. And unless you, like, I really love the sport. Like, I love the sport. I'm playing it still. I'm 33 now. I'm covered in injuries, and to still play and not get paid, you gotta love the sport. Bro. You gotta love the sport to put your body through that sort of trauma and not get paid for it. And that's why a lot of Dutchies, like, I'm sure you noticed it when you're here, it's a very young sport here.
Yeah.
Because career paths get in the way and they stop, 25, 26, they're barely entering their primes,
Yeah.
And a lot of them stop, and I've seen that, come through. There's so much talent, bro, so much. And it's just getting lost. Whether I've got the answer for that, I feel like, everybody probably has an answer. They got their own interpretation of what they think would help Dutch rugby. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of conversations based around that. But I'm sure there's a lot of, circumstances that prevent, or maybe there's people that, don't know, because it's not a rugby cultured country. So I don't know. There's a lot of steps that they need to take and allow change. That's the biggest thing. They need to allow change. And for a lot of clubs and people in the Rugby Netherlands, I think, in my opinion, they're just not allowing that change, because they're basing a lot of personal. How does this affect me or my club, or so that does prevent a lot of the necessary changes in the Netherlands, in my opinion.
No, but I feel like just more foreigners over there. I think because I know there's a few. There's another Tongan that's out in Den Bosch, and he's got some kids as well. So I think maybe in about 18 years, the Dutch team. Yeah.
There's also Sean there.
Yeah. I think we're helping the Dutch team just by making more half Dutch, half Tongan, half Tongan babies,
bro.
Mate. So, mate, otherwise,
bro,
they'll probably find themselves like Fabian Holland getting stolen by New Zealand, anyways. The scholarships. So hopefully not. But
there's heaps of guys like Fabian, man. Like, he was just the one that had the balls to do it.
Yeah.
They just. And shout out to Fabian. He's a Cas boy too. He's from Castricum, born and raised, and of course. And but just shout out to him, bro. He's what he's done. I mean, and there's obviously Dutch guys that are over in France and England and what have you, but he's just allowed young boys from Cas to dream big. That a kid from Cas with big dreams can has chat on making the All Blacks. It's unbelievable, bro. It's crazy, and he's done it. He's what these young kids can look at and say, it is possible. But it's everybody wants to be rich, but no one's willing to put in the work, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
they think it's such a distant reality, but it's possible. You just gotta, Will Smith put it brick by brick, and that's what Fabian did. You gotta write a book, bro.
We better check all these facts. Check all the brick and bricks. Check all the bricks. But I got a few questions here that have had preparation, just in case I forgot them. Firstly, this is a rugby pod. So, who is your GOAT rugby player of all time?
Yeah, Jonah Lomu, bro. Since I was a kid, I mean, of all time.
Yeah.
Not far behind him is Richie McCaw, but Jonah Lomu was. Even when I was a kid, I had the 11 on my eyebrows. Yeah. I even have I had the haircut as well. Funny story too. Now that we're on the topic, and I'm just enjoying this. The missus came to New Zealand, and on our my mum's got heaps of family photos on the wall.
Yeah.
most Tongan families do in their house. And every kid that was born, there's like a new family photo. But anyway, one of the family photos, I think it's the first full family photo with everybody in it. But I have the Jonah Lomu haircut. And my missus was looking at all through them and she was like, why is your hair like that? I was like, yeah. Hold on before you get do not disrespect the haircut. Then I had to show, because she's from Netherlands, never even knew anything about rugby.
Yeah.
Shock. But I had to show her a video of Jonah. And you know, she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And she now understands, took her long enough, my love for rugby.
Yeah.
You know, when we first met, she couldn't wrap her head around it. To her, she's like, you guys, it just looks like guys just running into each other, like hugging is the term she used. Bro.
Mate.
Never been so close. Nah, I was not.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. It's just better than Cough-Ball, mate. Just chill, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's the GOAT. He's my all-time.
Yeah, he's...
I still got the...
Mate, I remember getting a hiding for
there.
trying to do the slits in my eyebrows. I remember I got a hiding first time, so that was the first and last.
It was my parents' idea to do my hair and my eyebrows like that.
Oh.
And then I got made fun of and bullied for the next, I don't know, month. In my mind, I was like, yo, Jonah Lomu. Then I went to school like, hey, what are you doing? You look ugly. It's my mom's idea.
Next one, who's the best like local Dutch rugby player that you've come across?
Local, like that's
Dutch. That's Dutch.
Today's right, and that's playing in the Netherlands.
Oh, not like now, but the whole time you've been in the Netherlands. Who's the most talented rugby player you've come across? That's a local. That's Dutch.
Oh, good. Fabian Holland then.
Okay.
Can I say that?
Yeah,
bro. Fabian Holland by far. Obviously, he's born and raised in Cass, so probably a bit of bias there, but he's on the chat for being caught up into the All Blacks, which is crazy.
So that's your Dutch GOAT, and then who's your the most, who's the most talented overseas, like foreigner player that played in the Netherlands?
Ooh, I forgot his name, but I think he plays in the NRL.
That played in.
He played for Gooi, I think, and now he plays in the NRL.
Really?
Yeah. He was a midfielder. You'd have to fact check it, but there was a fella, a midfielder that played for Gooi.
Yeah.
And like a couple years back, and I'm pretty sure I heard people saying that he plays in the NRL, and I was like, he was trash.
We'll have to look who that guy is.
He wasn't. Put that out, eh? You better cut that out.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
He was actually really good.
That's pretty crazy. I thought you were going to say the guy that played for the Bassets, but that's all good. Next one.
Nah. He was so bad, he went from number 8 to prop.
Diversity, mate. Diversity, you know?
I did too. I moved to prop as well.
And then you come back. Yeah, I need to make my way back.
Oh.
Earlier you said that you're the best looking in your family, but are you the best rugby player in the family?
No. Short answer. No. I have a little brother that plays. Because we've been talking about Fabian. I have a little brother, Sefo Kautai. He plays down with the Highlanders this season. So shout out to the bro. Massive win over the weekend too against the Blues.
Shit, what a game!
13 men. They still managed to fork it.
What do you know his main reason for going back? Because he's been at the Brumbies last few years. I thought he was gonna try and get in that gold jersey.
Oh, yeah, this. You wish. He's gonna play for Tonga first.
Oh, we need it. We need it.
No, I think Aussie's in a good place. I think they've just gone through a dip. I mean, I'm on there for the place for was it the Waratahs is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, two touches of the ball and 2 tries is insane. But my brother, he had it re-signed. I think he was re-signed with the Brumbies, but they also re-signed Ala Latoa. So without getting into the details, for him that's just another year sitting behind the captain, I guess. And if you're dreaming big and you want to be better, you can't be sitting behind or you can be, but then the amount of game time you'll be getting will be slim to none. So
yeah,
it was a good choice. Our first 15 coach, Dave Dillon, shout out to old Dildo. He's over at the Highlanders too. I think he's the defensive coach. I think they got in touch, and they managed to get him down there. But I taught Sefo everything he knows, eh?
Oh, that's right. You used to be a prop too, eh? Or you're a prop. That's where he started to shine. Is when after I moved to prop, and I want to be like my brother.
I allowed him to beat me, so he learns. That's how he learned, just by giving me a hiding. But it's cool. It's cool seeing. I mean, the world it's a small world, but even in the rugby world, it's even smaller. But to see, the bro Fabian and my little brother,
man, yeah, that's crazy.
Sefo, yeah, man, insane. So every time, now I gotta. I mean, I support my brothers. I support the bros, the doggos, but Highlanders. I'm
Who's your team?
Shout out Chiefs.
Ah, okay.
Chiefs mana all day.
Okay.
I mean, I'm born and raised obviously in Auckland, but they bounced my brother, so I was like, yeah, fuck you, Blues. I don't know. He just that was his first Super Rugby team, so, and he was 18 or 19, so that's almost 10 years of being behind the Chiefs, and I've just been. I mean, if the Blues and the Chiefs in the finals, and the Blues win, I ain't gonna be mad. But I've been a Chiefs mana fan since the bro left, moved there. Obviously, before that, I was hardcore Blues fan. But once Carlos Spencer and all them left, I was like, nah, I don't want to be part of this.
But before we cut off, how's you guys are pretty sporty. Your brother's in the Super Rugby. How's the old man? How's the OG? Was he? Did he tell stories of him back in the days?
Whether the stories are true or not, the man said he was going to play for Tonga, and then for whatever reason it didn't quite work out.
I heard a similar story, but yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in no history books. My old man's name in the Tongan team. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't.
Yeah, I googled too. My old man wasn't even. I couldn't even find his name.
I think he was in the team to fly to New Zealand and start a better life.
Yeah,
he was in that Tongan team. But my dad's he's maybe if he gave it a crack in today's world, I think he was just a big solid old fella,
Yeah.
But most of the boys that grew up and lived in Tonga are built that way. But so I'll drop that dude, bro. Easy work.
All right, so
but we grew up in a pre-rugby family anyway.
Yeah.
My other brothers played, but life caught up to them as well. But I'm probably biased about this. They were decent rugby players too.
Hold up, did you play for the Netherlands? I remember seeing your name on.
It was an unofficial match. It was an unofficial match against Germany. They needed, every team needs a big Polynesian in their team, and they just happened to find one at their time. But I had an unofficial match for the Netherlands. Shout out to the Netherlands. We played Germany. I needed shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
But I had to call up, and I was like, I'm not missing this game. So I just
Yeah.
I just played the game with a bad shoulder, and then after I got my surgery, and they never called me again.
Politics. We'll call it politics, but yeah.
Yeah,
right.
cool politics. They found another Polynesian player, I guess.
And then last one, deep one. Message to 17-year-old Tausinga.
Ooh. Don't have a girlfriend.
That's the same message my parents told me when I was that age.
Yeah, the same message they gave me, and they were right.
Should have listened and don't judge.
They said, "Wait till you finish school and then get a girlfriend." It's like, I'll get one now.
Yeah. So
Nah, I couldn't get one off the top of my head, but that would be the one of them, just because that was the one that my parents unfortunately said to me. A message to the young 17-year-old me. Good players, good men make good players.
good men, hey, good rugby men. Out of you.
Good men make good rugby players. Yeah.
Rugby now. You're still in touch with rugby now?
Still playing, bro. Still playing. I was on and off for a couple of years just because I was trying to settle down and get my family straight and work and everything. But everything's pumping now, so I've I guess put everything back into footy again. You know, I've been managed to stay fit, stay strong. Copped an injury, but it was a piss poor one. I've had worse ones before. But I'm still playing, doing my coaching courses as well, and just helping out where I can. Like Netherlands has the potential to go places. Any country can if they just invest the time and allow change. That's the biggest thing, to allow change. They'll be surprised at where this country can go. Because if you think of from like South Africa, for example, they're just all Dutch faces, man.
Yeah. Hard.
All these Palangis they play for South Africa are just Dutch people. I mean, they colonized the bloody country anyway.
Yeah.
And all the names look Dutch. All these Van der Hoedekkie and Van der Haks.
Vendor. Yeah, I get it.
Vender Tausinga, all these Vender, they're all Dutch names.
Yeah.
And then, if the Dutch people are the tallest, I think they're one of the tallest people. Well, that's what they said. I don't know. You got to fact check that too. That's what they said.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of beasts here. Even as a barber, bro, I see some of these big guys coming in. I'm like, oh, how old are you? 19. How tall are you? It's like, oh, I'm almost 2 meters. Do you want to play rugby? Nah.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Take this bloody cape off. Get the hell out of my shop.
How's your Dutch?
Oh, bro, terrible, man.
Still terrible.
Terrible. I've even my Tongan's gone so bad, even worse over the years. My English though, if you haven't noticed in this podcast, my English has been great. But my Dutch is my Dutch is terrible. I've lived here for I don't know, 8+ years maybe, in and out. 10 years in and out. I couldn't form a sentence for you if I tried.
Shit.
I get a knock at the door and there's somebody speaking Dutch to me. Oh yeah. Hold on. Hey babe, there's someone at the door for you. But I don't have it in me to stop them.
Yeah. You just wait till they're finished.
Yeah, they'd already started. They're probably saying, this is Jehovah's Witness.
Oh man, I've been practicing.
No, Dutch is terrible.
I'll have to test my Dutch when I get over there. But thanks for jumping on. We'll definitely have to do a live one, do a proper one. Maybe go get around and interview some of the players, the new players that are heading over. But lastly, just a message to players that are thinking about heading over to the Netherlands to play a season.
Yeah, but just I guess open yourselves up to the possibility that there is good rugby here. Don't come here with your big ass head thinking that you're better than everyone else. Now, like allowing change, like allow yourself to be part of this culture too, and then you might find yourself not homesick.
Yeah, that's a big one. There's a reason why I keep trying to come back, not just because I love the food over there, but mate, it's I don't know. A lot of the Dutchies are like, "Oh, you're crazy. You're from Australia. Why are you coming over here?" But it's like you said. I'm also a lone ranger, and it's but you find your people over there, and I feel youngins, just give it a go. Open yourself up, and like Singer said, reach out and get along with, or just hang out at the rugby houses. We'll make something going. But I'll see you in summer, mate. I'll be over there in summer. Catch up, and thanks for.
Are you the Stevens?
Yeah, I'll be there, mate.
Okay.
But
I'll be there.
Thanks for jumping on, and up Castricum. I mean Tilburg.
Yes, brother.
Tilburg. That was Tausinga Kautai. Now we've got shout-outs to end the pod. Tino, here's your shout-out for the week.
Look, my shout-out goes out to the Moana boys. I think we can bring on the win this weekend. But yeah, that is my shout-out. Shout-out to all those coaches and supporters out there that are going through the trenches with their teams before the season starts, especially the young kids, from under 7s to under 16s. We don't put enough emphasis on the praise we should be giving to these coaches and managers of different teams, boys teams, girls teams. But yeah, that is my shout out to all of you guys, keeping the community alive. You guys are the backbone of the future of the Wallabies rugby program here in our hometown. But that's my shout out. And especially to you, Dave, backing your Randwick billionaires on starting your mafia program. Look, got nothing good, but nice things to say about you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
And Dave, your shout out for the week?
I'll take along what Tina said. I'll shout out the Randwick Academy. Shout out to all the volunteers and all the coaches who made the program for the kids over the summer. I'm sure the kids have learnt a lot, and they'll be ready for their season ahead. Another shout out is to Club Rugby. We're getting close to those pre-season trials. It's and those long pre-seasons, hard training, slowly tapering back. We won't forget where we're from. So the little people in Clubland, we're not just covering all the pro stuff, but shout out to all the Clubland battlers. We'll be back making sure we give them as much love as they deserve.
Yeah. Good shouts, boys. And my shout out to Tausinga. Just had that interview with him just before. Shout out to all the youngins or any club rugby players that are, before you looking to hang up the boots, make sure you go and use rugby to get overseas. Netherlands is a great place to go. Everyone speaks perfect English. The locals think their English isn't very good, but it's a lot better than our English. So make sure you give yourself the chance to experience rugby overseas and go overseas and do a season. I don't know if Inside Running is still running, but there's other sites where you can go and connect, or just DM us and we'll try and connect you with one of the clubs over there. So boys, thanks for calling in. And everyone listening, have a good week. We'll see you next week. But,
Thanks, Tony.
But
good week.
We have a special, almost forgot about Tino's Song of the Week. We have this one. It's called Squad by...